There are places on our planet where reality surpasses any fiction. You would probably never have imagined that there could be islands where people see everything in black and white, regions where women are completely forbidden from entering, or villages where the inhabitants go to the supermarket or bathe in the municipal swimming pool without any clothes on. Don't miss this new uncensored video to learn more about the 10 strangest, most mysterious, and extraordinary places on the planet. Villages ruled by scarecrows, cities where the population has decided to live on the slopes of an active volcano, others made of garbage and inhabited by garbage collectors, or villages where the population always lives underground. Pay attention to this video because we assure you that everything in it will surprise you. Let's get started. Pingalap, Micronesia, the island where they see in black and white. Pingalap is a remote island belonging to the state of Ponape in Micronesia. An island where, for a large part of its population, colors do not exist. A place where more than 10% of the population sees in black and white. It may seem like science fiction, but the world is truly amazing, and that's why we love to create and bring you videos as interesting as this one. So if you're not subscribed to Uncensored World, do it now. This island is famous in the scientific world, as it is the place where most people suffer from an extreme form of color blindness called achromatopsia, a rare genetic disorder that prevents them from distinguishing colors. That's why many people know this island as the Island of the Colorblind. If you are ever lucky enough to visit Pingalap or any of the other islands of Micronesia, you will surely be amazed by their beauty and nature, their beautiful landscapes and turquoise waters, or their extraordinary marine world. A reality that makes this problem even sadder for the inhabitants of Pingalap, since despite living in a natural wonder full of colors, more than 10% of the 250 inhabitants of this island see life in black and white. It is estimated that 0.003% of the world's population suffers from this disease, or in other words, 3 people out of every 100,000, while in Pingalap, statistics estimate that between 10 and 30% of the population is affected, meaning that between 10 and 30 people out of every 100 on this island suffer from this disease. And as is almost always the case in life, mysteries are there to be solved, and there is usually a reason for these surprising statistics. According to our research, to understand the cause, we have to go back to the year 1775. That year, a typhoon named Liankieki devastated the island, and only 20 people survived, including the tribal leader named Nanwarki Mwananisid, who is believed to have suffered from this rare disease of achromatopsia. With the aim of reviving the island, the leader decided to have many children, to the point that it is believed that all those affected today are related to Nanwarki Mwananisid. No one noticed any change until the 4th generation, when achromatopsia appeared in part of the population, a problem that would increase in the 6th generation, and so on until today. In this way, and thanks to this original inbreeding by the former leader of Pingalap, the island is one of the most attractive in the world for genetics experts. But apparently, seeing in black and white also has its advantages for the inhabitants of this island, especially when the sun goes down. According to many of them, in the dark, this rare disease gives them better vision, helping them to fish much better than during the day. If you want to know more about the details of this island and other curiosities of Micronesia, such as the use of ants for female stimulation in intimate relationships, don't miss the video we created weeks ago on the channel and follow this one. Mount Athos, Greece, the region prohibited to women and female animals. If there is one place in the world where women are forbidden to enter, this is it. Although it may surprise anyone, Mount Athos, known as the monastic Republic of Mount Athos, is a peninsula and autonomous region of Greece, where not only women but also any female animals are prohibited from entering. As strange and crazy as it may seem, various signs indicate this warning both at the border of this peninsula and in different places throughout this mysterious region. To better understand this reality, we must begin by learning about the history of this place. Located on the Athos Peninsula, Mount Athos is home to 20 monasteries, Considered one of the most important centers of the Orthodox religion, it has been a refuge for monks and a place of pilgrimage for over 1,000 years. It is from this cult that the strict prohibition of entry to women, known as avaton, derives. This rule has been in force for over 1,000 years and is based on Orthodox religious tradition and the monastic laws of the place. The main reason why women and female animals are not welcome in the region is to preserve the monastic and spiritual environment. According to the monks, the presence of women could distract the monks from their life dedicated to prayer, meditation, and monastic work. In addition, Mount Athos is considered a garden of the Virgin Mary, and according to tradition, she is the only woman who resides there in spirit. Allowing other women to enter is considered an act of dishonor to this devotion. The ban is so deeply rooted in the traditions and laws governing Mount Athos that it has been recognized and protected by Greek law and international treaties. Access to Mount Athos is strictly regulated and controlled. Men who wish to visit, and only men, must obtain a special permit known as a diamonoterion. This permit is limited in number and length of stay. Women cannot obtain this permit because the entry of women is strictly prohibited and is associated with serious penalties and risks. If a woman attempts to enter this region, she faces legal, and in some cases, even physical consequences. And although it may sound insane, in addition to women, as we mentioned, female animals are also prohibited from entering Mount Athos. This restriction is based on the belief that both women and female animals could disturb the sacred and monastic environment. This practice reflects an aspect of Orthodox theology that emphasizes purity and spiritual concentration within monastic spaces, thus preserving an atmosphere of devotion and contemplation that has characterized Mount Athos for centuries. Although I am sure that for many these restrictions are seen more as senseless madness, probably due to the dark beliefs in the minds of some of these monks. What do you think about this reality? We would love to read your comments. Longyearbyen, Norway, the town where it is forbidden to die. Longyearbyen is the largest town and administrative center of the Svalbard archipelago, located in the Norwegian Arctic. It is known for being one of the northernmost settlements in the world. The extreme weather conditions and total darkness during the winter months, along with the constant light in summer, make Longyearbyen a fascinating and challenging place to live. The most peculiar thing about Longyearbyen is that it is forbidden to die here. You may wonder what the crazy reason for this could be, but as you will see, it all makes much more sense than it might seem. It's all because of the permafrost. Permafrost is a layer or stratum of soil that remains permanently frozen for at least 2 consecutive years. This freezing occurs mainly in cold regions of the world, where soil temperatures remain below the freezing point of water, 0 degrees Celsius for most of the year, even in summer. In this region, the soil remains frozen throughout the year, and because of this, due to these constant low temperatures, bodies do not decompose as they would in warmer climates. This poses a potential risk to public health if these deceased bodies are not properly treated. Therefore, people who are seriously ill or close to death have to be evacuated from this village in the Norwegian Svalbard Islands and taken to the mainland to receive appropriate medical care. In addition to this peculiarity, Longyearbyen is also known for hosting the Svalbard Global Seed Vault, the most important seed bank on the planet and for humanity. This underground refuge protects an invaluable genetic diversity of crops from around the world, ensuring the preservation of these species in the face of possible natural disasters or conflicts, including a potential apocalypse. Miyakojima, Japan, the island that lives on an active volcano. Miyakojima is a volcanic island in Japan, known worldwide for being probably the only island where residents have not chosen to leave despite the constant threat of an active volcano that regularly emits toxic gases. Instead of fleeing this harsh reality, the inhabitants of Miyakojima have integrated gas masks into their daily lives as an indispensable measure to protect themselves from the harmful effects of these gases. In 2000, a devastating volcanic eruption forced the total evacuation of Miyakojima. Residents were displaced for several years, until they were finally able to return in 2005. Since then, they have meticulously prepared for future eruptions and have integrated gas masks as a crucial part of their preparedness for possible increases in volcanic gas emissions. This measure not only ensures their safety, but also symbolizes the determination of Miyakejima's inhabitants to remain in their home despite the extreme conditions. Life on this island is a living testament to human adaptability and resilience in the face of geological hazards. Miyakejima not only faces constant challenges from its active volcanic environment, but also demonstrates innovative solutions that allow its residents to maintain a functional and united community amid such adverse circumstances. Manshiat Nasir, Egypt, a city made of garbage and garbage collectors. If there is one place that Egyptians are not particularly proud of, it would surely be the city of Manshiat Nasir. Strangely enough, however, there are impressive things that its inhabitants should be proud of. Located on the outskirts of Cairo, Egypt, Manshiat Nasir is commonly known as Garbage City, and for reasons one can imagine, it has that name. In this city, piles of garbage are literally found on almost every street, in every corner or alleyway you look at. At first glance, it seems that even the buildings are made of garbage and plastic piled up in a disorderly and senseless manner. But the reason is simple. Most of the garbage from Cairo, the capital of Egypt with more than 20 million inhabitants, is transported there. About 250,000 people live in Manshiat Nasir, and its population consists mainly of zabalins or garbage collectors, whose main occupation is to collect the city's garbage and transport it to their homes to sort it, and then recycle it or sell it in second-hand markets. What is impressive about all this is that statistics indicate that almost 90% of all Cairo's garbage is recycled in its entirety and then sold by this small community. To compare these figures, the recycling rate in the United States is less than 35%, so perhaps many countries should take note of the reality of Manshiat Nasir. Although the city has a bleak appearance, its inhabitants are quite happy with their lives and do not seem to want to change anything, since they not only live in the trash but also live off it, and through recycling they make the environment more sustainable. Villa Las Estrellas, Antarctica, the only inhabited village in Antarctica. Villa Las Estrellas is a small Chilean community that could be considered the only permanent settlement in Antarctica. It was founded in 1984 and is located on King George Island. The base has a school, a small hospital, a post office, and other facilities necessary for daily life. Life in Villa Las Estrellas is marked by harsh Antarctic conditions, with extremely low temperatures, strong winds, and isolation. The base serves both scientific purposes and as a sovereign presence for Chile on the frozen continent. Families who live there usually stay for periods of 1 or 2 years, adapting to a completely inhospitable environment. According to some residents of Villa Las Estrellas, living conditions are so extreme that many have to share beds or even bathrooms and take showers lasting less than 90 seconds. Comfort and privacy are set aside in this small community of researchers and family members who populate this remote village in inhospitable Antarctica. Nagoro, Japan, the scarecrow village. Scarecrows are structures placed on farms to deter birds and other animals from perching on crops. This is common in many villages around the world, but never as common as in this small Japanese village. The village of Nagoro, located in the Japanese prefecture of Tokushima. Nagoro is known as the village of scarecrows for good reason. Believe it or not, these people decided to successfully replace almost everyone in the village with scarecrows. That's why, literally, wherever you look in the town, there's a scarecrow that seems to be watching you. The scarecrows are literally everywhere, and according to sources, there are more than 300 of them. Considering that the town is quite small and remote, you can imagine how strange it can be. You're probably wondering, how did all this start? What was the reason? According to our research, it all started with a woman named Ano. Ano was born in Nagoro, a town full of life and young people decades ago. In her youth, she moved to Osaka, one of Japan's largest and most cosmopolitan cities, to study and work. Years later, after her mother passed away in 2002, she returned to the village to take care of her father. But by then, Nagoro's population was a shadow of its former self. The young people had left for the big city, and mortality had far exceeded births in this quiet village. She began to grow her own vegetables, realizing that crows were destroying and eating everything that grew on her land. So she decided to make a scarecrow and put it in her garden. To her surprise, she saw that many of her neighbors would walk past the yard and greet the scarecrow, thinking it was actually her father. That's when she had an idea that would completely revolutionize this village. As more people died or left the village, she would replace them with scarecrows that resembled them. And so, from 1 or 2 scarecrows, there are now hundreds of them populating the village. Today, the population of Nagoro is estimated to be less than 50 people, but the scarecrows are still alive and have not left the village. In the village school, which closed in 2012, there is even a classroom full of them. And they can be seen decorating different parts of the town. 3 scarecrows at the base of a telephone pole, 1 fishing in the river, and even a group sitting on a bus shelter. Nagoro has thus become something of a ghost town, and the most disturbing thing is that it is one of the biggest tourist attractions in this area of Japan. Cap d'Agde, France, naked even at the supermarket. Cap d'Agde is a French town known for being one of the largest and most famous naturist centers in the world. In this coastal town, life without clothes is a common and accepted practice throughout the town, including in places such as supermarkets, restaurants, municipal swimming pools, and beaches. The naturist area of Cap d'Agde is a gated community that allows its residents and visitors to live without clothes in a safe and respectful environment. This way, visitors can carry out everyday activities, such as shopping, swimming in the municipal pool, and enjoying the nightlife, all without the need for any type of clothing. What's more, living this way is so widespread that anyone walking around this town fully clothed is frowned upon. For many, this town is the closest thing to the Sodom and Gomorrah of the Bible today. The great appeal of this town is that everything is allowed, not just naturism. That's why there are dozens of clubs in Cap d'Agde for couples to interact. There are hotels dedicated to liberal couples, and people go without clothes everywhere at any time of day. These rules and customs foster a liberal atmosphere, although according to some of its inhabitants, they also foster mutual respect and freedom, making Cap d'Agde a unique destination for naturism enthusiasts. Whittier, Alaska. An entire town enclosed in a huge building. Whittier is a town in Alaska that has made it onto this list because it has become something of an enigma among the mountains and icy waters of the North Pacific. This small town encloses most of its inhabitants in a single concrete colossus, a monstrous building called Begich Towers. The building was constructed in the 1950s as a military stronghold. It has 14 floors that not only provide homes for all the town's residents, but also house a complex network of essential services ranging from apartments to shops, a post office, a church, and even a small hospital. Begich Towers has thus become a small urban universe where life and community intertwine in a reality unique in the world. The choice of more than 90% of the town of Whittier to live under one roof was driven by the fury of Alaska's extreme climate. In this place, where winter reigns supreme with blizzards and freezing temperatures often below 50 degrees Celsius below zero, mobility and basic comforts, such as access to heating or hot water, were becoming impossible, putting the population's survival at risk. That is why the entire town decided to move to Begich Towers, with the intention of facing the adversities of the Arctic environment, while maintaining a vital connection and a sense of community, marking Whittier as the perfect place to survive and live together in one of the most inhospitable places on Earth. Coober Pedy, Australia, the town that lives underground. Coober Pedy is a town located in southern Australia that literally lives up to its name. The word Coober Pedy is an Aboriginal word that literally translates as white man who lives in a hole, and that's pretty much what happens here. According to sources, just over 2,000 people live in Coober Pedy, and apparently the vast majority of these people live underground. As it began as a mining settlement, much of its territory was made up of holes and pits, so when development came to this town, instead of building above ground, they decided to convert many of those mine pits into settlements and structures. As a result, almost all the buildings in this town are underground, from houses and restaurants to even the church in this remote place. Anyone might think this is strange, but there is one fact that makes it logical. Because the houses are underground, the temperatures in Coober Pedy remain at a pleasant 22 degrees Celsius throughout the year. The city's developers have also installed ventilation ducts that allow air to flow in and out so that people don't get too stuffy in their own homes. Considering this lifestyle and everything you've learned so far, can you imagine living in a place like this? Which of these destinations has impressed you the most? And where would you like to spend some time and why? Pause the video and leave us your comment. Now that you are part of Uncensored World, you know that this is the best way to support us, so that we can continue working to bring you interesting videos like this every week. So, thank you. At Uncensored World, we hope that this tour of some of the strangest and most mysterious places on the planet has been as exciting for you as it has been for us. With that in mind, and considering the effort that goes into making these videos, we would love for you to leave us a like and your comment. You know that this is the best way to help us. If you enjoyed this video and you're not yet subscribed, don't wait any longer and do it now by activating the bell so you don't miss the fascinating videos we make every week. Videos like this one that you can enjoy now to discover another of the most fascinating corners of the planet. Don't miss it and discover the wonders this place has to offer.